Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen J Lotus, Pimp Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast, hopefully, with a spiritual analysis, aka reading on Miss Erica Mena. And this is part 3 of her spiritual analysis. And for this video, we're going to be tapping into what is Erica's soul contract for this stage season of her life, honey. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into. So, child, right off rip, if you don't know, now you know. Erica is a Scorpio. Bars. But Erica is a Scorpio. And this stage in her life is meant to evolve her as a Scorpio. It seems as though she's been relating to too many of the unevolved elements of Scorpio, such as vindictiveness, obnoxiousness, lack mentality, the darker elements of spirituality and things of that nature. Whereas, like I said in part 2 and a bit of part 1, many of her experiences in life have been meant to gear her up to be an advocate for those who have lesser of a voice, lesser of access, impoverished, things of that nature. And it's also, it's crazy because Spirit is saying that this lady has such a strong sense of discernment, intuitiveness. She could be doing so many great things with her evolved Scorpio element, and the divine realm has been trying very hard to get her on the track, the right track of doing that. Of being a spiritual worker, being a spiritual leader, a leader of society in the best ways. But like I said in a previous part, she runs in the opposite direction of it. So all of that is tapping into this High Priestess card right here that is sideways. The reason that it's sideways is because this is what Spirit is saying, child. I know a lot of the public has been saying it, but Spirit is saying it through me, through these cards right here. Okay? That much of what Erica is experiencing in this stage and this season of her life is karmic. Much of it is karmic. She could have been done with a lot of these toxic cycles, these chaotic cycles and things of that nature. But her choices have led her to repeating pathologies, repeating generational curses, repeating just a bunch of the toxicity and her shit catching up with her in even worse ways than it would have been. So what her soul contract is in this stage of her life is like a bit of a crossroads. It's like Spirit is saying this is her final moment to make a decision about whether or not she is going to do the shadow work and heal. But in order to heal, she has to be honest about the things that she's been through, the way that she's handled it, the things that she's taken other people through, the way that she's traumatized other people, the way that she's become what she once despised. It's going to take her going through the depths of despair, because honey, it's a very painful process, and that's why she keeps running away from it also, because it is stupendously painful. And it's going to be even more painful because she's allowed it to fester for so long, and she's made poor mindful decisions in the process, knowing good and well that it was against her divine purpose. It's like some part of her, is she too wrapped up in her ego, and her ego is very self-righteous is what I'm hearing. Self-righteous and too wrapped up in the privilege of it all, literally thinking that she can just do whatever she wants to do and things are going to fall into place for her, because she's so used to people doing bad and seemingly being successful. But what she doesn't see is those people who she thinks are evil yet successful. What she doesn't see is the internal turmoil. What she doesn't see is what those people don't show. But she's experiencing it. And it's such a cognitive dissonance going on that she doesn't even realize that what she's experiencing is exactly what people who have abused her are also experiencing. And people like her in that way are also experiencing. She doesn't realize that. And this season in her life is meant for her to come to a realization of that. So we get into the Nine of Swords, which taps right back into her being severely damaged from trauma, people betraying her, people abusing her, people oppressing her, this, that, and the third, the generational curses, all this, that, and the third. But it's about specifically this stage in her life. It's supposed to be to break her of the victim mentality, of the slave mentality, the imprisoner mentality. And that's interesting too, because I remember Erica talking about an experience. I believe she said it was with her baby daddy. If I'm not mistaken, she said it was with her baby daddy, her first baby daddy, who she's talked about being very abusive to her, and said that he would like lock her up in a room and she wouldn't be able to eat and things of that nature. And this card, allegedly, okay, but this card is allegedly tapping directly into that particular experience. And so this particular stage in her life, the soul contract is drumming up all of that trauma, all of those memories, all of those feelings, for her to allow herself to face it and release it, because that in particular is what has had her in a chokehold of wickedness. And she's been constantly trauma responding to that particular experience the most. And it's just been digging a bigger hole for herself and creating such terrible karma for herself, because Spirit is saying she's supposed to be using that experience to help other women. But instead, she has been harming other women. And the women she's been harming the most are the women who are most like her by experience, by physicality, and by heritage, ethnicity, by generational pathology, and all of that shit. And so, y'all, I'm not gonna tell no lie to you. The way it's channeling through, the gods, the goddesses, the ancestors, they are upset with her. They are fed up with her. And so that's why it's like, this is a crossroads moment of like, look, you gonna get it together or you ain't. You gonna do it or you not. You will or you won't. Okay? Because we trying to help you. You know, God protects babies and fools. And you been out here acting a goddamn fool. Y'all saw that fool card came out in reverse. And they've been trying to work with her because of the compassion and the grace and all of that. But if a person is constantly making a decision, and this is something that people in general have to realize, and I guess that's why Spirit is speaking it so loudly here, so that you can hear that even Spirit exercises this. Being graceful, yes, but then also having to take your hands off people, having to release people, and just allow them to be foolish and dig their own hole. And it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with God. God done tried. You done tried. Everybody done tried. Ain't nobody's fault but theirs. And that's what this is giving. It's giving her having to face that where she is in life right now is her fault. Like, a lot of her trauma is not her fault, but where she is in life right now, where she is in her spiritual set, her heart set, her mental set, is her fault, because she ignored the many opportunities to correct it, to heal, to release, to revitalize. She's run from it. She's run from the divinity. She's run from her higher self. And we can go ahead and hop into the Three of Wands that's presented here. And this is specifically gearing towards, it's a chariot type energy, but it's showing up as a Three of Wands because it's a lot of reflection and reevaluating that needs to happen with her. So honestly, what I'm feeling channeled through here is that Erica really needs, allegedly, that's what's channeling through here, but allegedly, Erica really needs rehabilitation. She really needs to check herself into a mental rehabilitation center and be alone There's also a lot of sleep deprived energy that's channeling through every one of these layouts and readings. Even, some of the cards that are not presented here geared towards her needing sleep. So what I was picking up on with that is her sleep has been disturbed for a long ass time, from vigorous work schedules and from just experiencing a whole lot of trauma. So what I'm picking up on is a PTSD type energy. I'm not diagnosing her, but this is just the energy that's coming through. It's like she has PTSD, and it shows up when she's sleeping through nightmares, or just her not being able to get to sleep, or her sleep being uncomfortable, or kind of maybe even fighting herself or scratching herself up in her sleep. And so what it seems like is that it gets to a point, it's gotten to a point where she doesn't want to sleep. It's kind of like a Freddy Krueger movie, how the characters, they get so tormented in they sleep that they start indulging in things or taking meds and other stuff that will keep them up so that they don't sleep, because they fear sleeping because it's been such a torturous experience. That's the energy that I'm picking up here, allegedly. So that's a large part of why too is channeling through that she needs to check herself into a mental rehabilitation center, because there is a lot of psychiatrical wounds there, and it's honestly solidifying that bigotry is a symptom of mental illness, honestly. And her mental health needs extensive attention, allegedly. And child, I feel bad for her, to be honest. Not in a way that excuses any of her behavior, absolutely not. But I feel bad for her that she's had opportunities to do better and she didn't take them, and then it's led to all of this. It's like, damn, it could have all been so simple. I mean, not to undermine or mock any, trauma that she's been through or anything. It's just, it didn't have to be this hard. But your mindset gotta match your money. And what that means is when you get money and access and all of that, you got to make sure that you're using it for more than just cars, clothes, and hoes. You know what I'm saying? You got to be making sure that you invest in your health, your physical health, and your mental health. And that's a large part of why I was guided to do this reading on her, because I'm all about prevention. And I'm just really hoping that people can take in what is said in these readings and these analysis, and use it as a cautionary tale so that you don't end up in the same boat. Take care of yourself. Face your fears. Face your traumas head on. Get therapy. Try to find free therapy. Go through the motions. If one therapist don't work, try another one. Keep going. Don't give up on your higher self. Don't give up on your divine purpose. Don't give up on loving yourself, because Erica giving up on those things, allegedly, as it's channeling through, is exactly what's led her here. It's a whole lot of self-hate. And like I said, it's a lot of PTSD. And Spirit is saying that, oh girl, really, she needs isolation. She needs shock therapy. She needs medication. She needs hypnosis. She needs extensive help. Just a sound bowl by Nora B is not going to help her at this point. She needs a whole ritualistic as well as chemical treatment in order to snap her out of it. And that's just so sad, because this girl got kids to live for, kids to take care of, and especially judging by the cards, she got a whole lot of potential that's just going to waste. A whole lot of love in her that's just going to waste. And it's so unfortunate. But I'm going to wrap it up right here. And I'm going to come back with part 4. And understand that this is a cautionary tale, honey. Understand that this is a cautionary tale. And so this 3 of Wands is highly representative of her needing to have a healthy form of isolation and really getting some deep, intense professional help so that she can, like I've been saying, face these things, release them, and come out on the other side revitalized. But it's up to her to make that decision. And based off the energy and all the cards that have come out thus far, it's not guaranteed that she's going to make that decision. Because, as I've said, it's a crossroads. It's a crossroads season for her. And she's having to make the choice to make better fucking choices. And with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this cow dry. And I am thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quarters for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.